You are now watching Aegislash PTCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Aegislash. Today we are going to be covering over ADP. Now, I have covered this deck a few times on my channel, and this deck has been one of the most successful decks we've ever seen in our standard format. I mean, heck, in any format, this deck has been absolutely dominating, and it's one of those things where people want to see it banned, people want to see it this. At the end of the day, I just want to provide you the best deck list. This deck list is better than my deck list that I played about a week ago on this channel or 2 weeks ago on this channel. So I do want to let you know that ADP is a little bit better since then, and I am providing you with that hot fire list. The list is below in the description, so be sure to peep that out. If you're missing any cards, go to PTCGO plug in code Aegislash5 to save 5% on your next order of codes. Whether you're looking for cards for this deck or for your collection or whatever you're looking for, just plug in that code. It certainly helps. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe right there. Totally would help us out here. We're so close to getting the 3,000 subs at the time of the creation of this video, and I hope we really get there soon. That being said, let's jump into the deck list and see what's going on. So jumping into the deck list, you might be like, yo, what did you do to update ADP? The deck's looking kind of the same. And I mean, to be honest, I think the deck is looking a little bit the same. And that's really where to say, where do these minor updates come from? There's not enough content creators, especially the better players, the more top players, professional players, that are really coming up with these ADP deck profiles where they're changing 1 or 2 cards and explaining why. So for those of you who are wondering what ADP does, ADP, or Arceus, Dialga, Palkia-GX, ADPs for short, you got Altered Creation GX for a metal energy. You do an additional 30 damage for the rest of the game to your opponent's active. Well, with extra water energy on there, so a metal and a water energy, you do an extra 30 for the rest of the game, and you draw an extra prize card every single time you want to knock out your opponent's Pokemon. So that means that you could just knock out 2 GX Pokemon, 2 V Pokemon, and win the game. That's really where this deck goes boss game, because you could boss orders up a Dedenne-GX, boss orders up a Crobat V, and then win the game. So basically, turn 1 you want to attach a metal energy to this Pokemon, turn 2 you want to attach a water energy to this Pokemon, Altered Creation GX, turn 3 you want to attach any energy, and then boss orders up an Ultimate Ray. What do you power up with Ultimate Ray? You want to power up a Zacian V. So Zacian V, you could use Brave Blade for 230 damage, which is 260, which is enough to knock out a lot of things after using Altered Creation. And of course, we do have a Rusted Sword that's only available to be working on Zacian V, so you can do an additional 30 damage as well. So it seems pretty cool if you ask me. So our whole strategy here is to power up ADP with Altered Creation, hopefully get off an Ultimate Ray, and then attack with Zacian V and with ADP. If you're short a little bit, you can attack with Wily Bites, 10 plus 30 for each of their bench Pokemon. They have a full bench that's 160. With the extra damage from Altered Creation, you're doing 190. That's enough to knock out Pokemon like Dedenne-GX. Even going through resistance, it's still 170, and Crobat V and Eldegoss V. So keep in mind all your available plays. You'd also use Captivating Wink to add Pokemon that they have onto their bench. That just might be great. Things like Dedenne-GX, maybe you're playing against a Decidueye deck and you got some of their Rowlets or a Snorlax on the bench. That'd be great. You got Aegislash V. Aegislash V does go through Decidueye, going through anything that would stop GX and V Pokemon from attacking. Got a base of Pokemon to set this deck up with Crobat V and Dedenne-GX. Seems like it's going to be quite powerful to be able to draw through your cards. And of course, you could set your deck up with Intrepid Sword as well and use it as an energy acceleration. If you ever need to, you have Energy Switch that you can manipulate energies and play with Metal Saucer, Energy Switch with Zacian V, and then bringing up your opponent's Pokemon with Boss's Orders and Great Catcher, and of course you can get those back with Eldegoss. The deck only plays 4 draw supporters, but that's fine. It's more than enough to get everything going, especially with all the explosive setup that you have with Dedenne and Crobats. And everything else in the deck is pretty simple. The deck plays 4 copies of Escape Rope because you're bossing up anyways, and sometimes they're going to be forced to send up a Pokemon that you can knock out. You don't really care about what you're knocking out with this deck. You really only care about prize counts for the most part. And this deck plays 2 Chaotic Spells to give us our better chance against Fire-type decks. That's because they play 2 copies of 2 plus copies of Giant Hearth, so you can just block them out from being played, and then maybe they won't be able to use their Welder. So that's what we got going on for this deck profile. I mean, other techs that I've included in this deck that I've been going in and out of my deck have been Empoleon V to stop decks like Spiritomb, although I think that's a favorable matchup anyways, and I do feel like Chaotic Swell is doing better than using a water type attacker in any kind of matchup like Victini or Centiskorch. I think that I've been going back and forth on Mewtwo and Mew-GX. If it helps out against Rapid Strike or Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, I'm still not sure. Trying to figure that out. I've cut it for a second swell right now. Basically, the second swell spot is a good spot. Skyla, so I could search out random things. Marnie, I've been testing in and out. Mew with Bench Barrier. I think there's a lot of like little cool things that you could add in here, and it's going to change based off the week. But this is what we got going on for this list this week. I think it's really great, and this is how I'd be playing the deck. Let's jump in and see how some games work for this deck. And if you're missing any cards for ADP or any of your other decks, you can go to PTCGO the link is in the description, and plug in code Aegislash5, that's Aegislash5. It's also right here in the bottom of the screen, and you can save 5% on your next order of codes. It also helps out support the stream as well. All right, let's jump into those games. So we won the coin flip. Don't know what we're playing against. Would we like to go first? Yeah, ADP wants to go first. Totally seems like a reasonable thing to do. And I mean, we're pretty happy because we have an ADP that you want to start with ADP whenever possible, or at least I like to start with ADP. I recommend to start with ADP whenever possible. And then we're going to wait until our turn to decide if we want to bench Pokemon. So we're playing against Mad Party. Should be a good one for us. Let's go ahead here, attach our energy for turn, and let's go for Zacian V. We're just going to go Intrepid Sword. No need to go for Dedenne or anything like that. So let's go Intrepid Sword here. Oh no, we're the double Metal Saucers is going to be quite unfortunate for us. So Mad Party's not a bad matchup. ADP does well against most single prize card matchups. So that's certainly going to be something that's going to be helpful for us. Will it be something that allows us to kind of, like, the triple Metal Saucers, I'm not going to lie, is a little bit rough. And they don't play Marnie, so we're just going to be in a bit of a rough case here. That's a really weird Giovanni's Exile, if I've ever seen one. So they can't use Giovanni's Exile for the rest of the game. They're going to have their Dedenne down. They basically play Giovanni's Exile to discard a Bunnelby, which I don't think is the correct call, unfortunately, for our opponent. But that's okay. You want to, maybe it was the correct call based off what they determined at the time. So now our goal is to just go boss, great catcher, boss, game, knocking out a Crobat and a Dedenne. Mad Party lists only play one copy of Giovanni's Exile, and they play a copy of Palpad. So just the fact that both are gone turn one, our opponent's going to be having a bit of a rough go, and they missed the attack off. So, wow, we got the water energy too. Really not enough of a reason for us to do much else here. We're going to go ahead and go Altered Creation. So, this should be a pretty walk in the park, typical ADP matchup, if I've ever seen one. As long as they don't hit 280 on this ADP this turn, we will win the game. So, triple Acceleration Energy. Don't know how they're going to really get out of the active. Maybe they're just going to get an Air Balloon or something. This deck only plays a couple copies of Air Balloon. And if they just don't find one, we might just see a concession here. And this is really just like the pressure that ADP applies to your opponents. They're struggling right now. They have 3 in play. They could do 60 damage. It's their second turn of the game, and they lose in 2 turns. They're like, how can I overcome this? This is really the reason why players are like, why don't we ban ADP? Why do we continuously play this card? And you can see they got a few more Mad Party Pokemon. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could do 120. 120 on their second turn is not good enough, unfortunately. So unless they miss the energy here somehow, that's basically it. Now, I can go ahead here. I'd rather leave the Poltegeist in the active. So let's just go boss. We want to bring up the Crobat first instead of the Dedenne, because we can knock out the Dedenne with a Great Catcher. So we're going to bring up Crobat here. And since we already used Altered Creation, we're doing an additional 30. We're doing 180, enough to knock this out. As long as we just get an energy, we can power up Zacian and then just find a boss next turn. And like clockwork, we're finding the energy. Pretty simple here. They might not even be able to get the knockouts. That's really going to be the tough part. So let's go Ultimate Ray. Knockouts, 3 prize cards on our third turn of the game. I am going to rip all 3 energies. You might be like, why are you grabbing the water energy? It's just to give us a measure against Dedenne-GX, getting brought up into the active. So feeling pretty good about that. So there's that. If we just find a boss or a great catcher or a quick ball, we win the game. And we have another turn to try to find it as well. And we have the Dedenne as well that we could grab from Cherish Ball. I mean, we got options. Actually, haven't been able to search through the deck yet. So Dedenne might be hiding in our last 3 prize cards. But basically, as long as they don't play 2 Giovanni's Exile, which would be completely uncommon for this deck. Okay, they're just going to try to take 2 prize cards here. So they didn't have enough beforehand. At this point, we want to send up ADP because regardless, we can also just knock out Bunnelby and something else. And this is why this matchup's so favorable for us. There's Great Catcher, so we're just going to get it. We're going to give our opponent the Well Played. We're going to go Great Catcher, discard these 2. Done, bring up a Dedenne, and then we're going to knock out the Dedenne with Ultimate Ray. So easy turn, typical ADP, but this is why this deck's so powerful. And we didn't even have to really fight for it that hard at all. So we'll take that free dub and see what else we could play against. So we're going to start this game off by calling the coin flip. I'm going to call Tails. Lost the coin flip, but hopefully our opponent lets us go first. ADP does feel good going first. About to see where they decide to let us go. They might be like, I don't know what Zach's playing. Okay, so we are going to go second. Not really a big deal. Maybe, just maybe we can get ADP on our first turn of the game. We're really only like a couple cards away from it. Okay, so we're playing against Rapid Strike Urshifu V. I mean, it's an interesting deck choice at the very least. And I mean, I think this matchup's more or less like depends on what they bench down. So hopefully they bench down a bunch of stuff that we could just get knockouts on. The Rusted Sword's really not going to be too popular here. They don't play Energy Denial, so I don't really need to worry about that. I'm just going to go ahead here and probably just pitch this hand away. I don't want to put Pokemon down on my bench. Do they have anything in their hands? Maybe see if there's anything good there. Pretty good hand, if you ask me. I'm just going to pass. Okay, so they're probably just going to take the freebie knockout on the Mawile. Probably just going to use their escape rope and then drop the research. So the Mawile's really a little bit of an awkward one for us. Okay, so I don't know why they keep on dropping prize cards, but that's okay. We'll see what we can do here. So let's go ahead and go like this, and let's go for Altered Creation GX. So I don't think there's too much else. They're not going to be, they'll be able to hit us maybe for 160. And we basically are going to attack into Rapid Strike, attack into Rapid Strike again, and then knock out any single Pokemon like the Zigzagoon. So we'll have to see what goes on for our opponents. Maybe they play Cheryl. That might be interesting. So we'll have to see if we're able to kind of get through this game. Maybe they won't be able to find Switch or Energy. There's a lot of moving pieces when it comes to the Rapid Strike deck. I've been playing it a lot personally, and it's one of those things where there's a lot of just moving pieces. So it's very possible for them to miss. See, they've already thrown away some resources. They already threw away a Cheryl. The Cheryl could come back maybe with an Eldegoss or a Mewtwo. Okay, so that means I assume they have to switch at that point. Should have attached to the active, the air balloon retreat, and then got off a free Jirachi. But at this point, we just have to go research away. And I mean, it depends on what they get going on over here. There's that. No reason not to power that up. And we're just going to go for Ultimate Ray. So Ultimate Ray is going to be a little bit of a tough one here. So our ADP deck is not unbeatable. but we will likely win the game if they don't win the game this turn, if that makes sense. So if they don't get an escape rope off or do any kind of damage or get a knockout, we're in a really good spot. So there's their rapid strike energy, so they'll be able to go 120, 120. Not looking great for us here. This is where Rapid Strike overcomes this matchup. So it's close, and I mean it's very winnable, but more or less our opponent's able to take those cheeky prize cards some games, and I mean maybe Mew would help us out. Mew is a card that like I said at the beginning of this video, Mew is a card that I've definitely been considering. So there's that. As long as we bring that up, it depends if they have an energy or not, if they win. Let's see. So this would be a great opportunity to just use Eldegoss. So we can take 4 prize cards here. We're just a boss away from winning the game next turn. I'm going to keep that on the Eldegoss. And basically, as long as they don't have it, we are all good. Now, the way that they've kind of attached their air balloons might make it difficult for them. Or they might just have the Rapid Strike energy in their hands. And then they just win the game. So they either need Rapid Strike or they need a Switch energy. Well, I mean, I guess they can't use Rapid Strike. I did knock out that Pokemon, so... yeah, whatever. We got it. Or, we lost it. It's all good. So our opponent here is calling the coin flip. I won the coin flip, and yes, we want to go first. Let's see what we can get going on here. A little bit of a rough start, and that's okay. We can come back from this. So, we'll see exactly what we top deck. But Zacian, we have Intrepid Sword on deck. We can just top deck. Yeah. Overall, I feel pretty okay about it. Let's go Cherish Ball here. I am just going to go Cherish Ball right for the ADP, because I do have Intrepid Sword. I do want to look through our prize cards, though, see if there's anything glaring missing. Like, I'm okay if we're missing that Zacian V. I'm okay, we're not missing really energies. Like, I feel pretty okay about what we got going on here. So let's go with this. Let's attach the metal energy there. I attached the metal energy first so you have access to your metal saucers, and there's less water energy in the deck. And let's go for Intrepid Sword here. Honestly, I really couldn't have asked for a better hand. So, we'll have to see where we're at after we even figure out what our opponent's playing. I really like their Bulbasaur sleeves. But their Bulbasaur sleeves doesn't necessarily mean that they're playing a Bulbasaur deck. Maybe it does. It looks like they're playing Mewtwo Welder. Maybe they're playing Victini Welder. I can't tell. But as long as we get off on Altered Creation, I'm feeling pretty okay here. I don't want to rip this hand away. So getting an Air Balloon, a Switch would be great. Oh, they're playing Genku. Interesting. So, see what Mewtwo with Genku. It's a lot of energies in the discard pile. Wow. Huh, maybe we can well, it wouldn't be a Switch, it'd be Escape Rope, but still. Just trying to get that. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, I don't play Switch. I play Escape Rope. Same thing. I just need to get to this kind of stage. I really wish I could make this up here, peeps. They already got rid of their Tool Jammer, I think. Yeah, so we're going to go like this. There's no need for us to do anything else. Let's just go Escape Rope. Feeling pretty nifty about the whole Altered Creation. And a Cherish Ball, just grabbing, you want to what? Let's go Mawile. Mawile might work out nicely here. They don't have that much stuff going on. That's okay. It is what it is. I was just like, let's get Cherish out in case they do attack with Genku. Although they can't use Poltergeist. They can Horror House GX us though. So I'm going to go Altered here, and we're pretty good overall. So... I'm feeling okay-ish. They keep on going through a lot of resources, though. Lots of stuff going on in the discard pile. And that's probably going to be where it gets a little bit fuzzy for them. Because we could even attack with our other Pokemon here at this point. So, what attack are they going to go off on? Massive Bloom. Interesting. So what are we going to get here? We got an Escape Rope. Escape Rope means that we can get a lot of cool stuff just going on. Means I'm an Air Balloon away. I don't think we really need to go Escape Rope here. I think I just need to pitch my hand away. Nothing to do with the Eldegoss, so let's... Goodbye, Metal Saucers. It sucks, but it is what it is. So we got this. I'm feeling really great about the water energy there. Feeling really great about the boss's orders in my hands. I am going to go water energy, boss's orders. Since Great Catcher is in the deck, I am going to bring up the Crobats. It's a little bit easier to do so. Considering they probably don't play Marnie, and they probably only play one Reset Stamp, I'm heavily debating putting down a Zacian. It might be helpful here for us. Because I could go 2 energies and then 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Ultimate Ray, I'm gonna draw 3 prize cards. 1, 2, 3. 1 energy there. I could also just go 2-2 splits. I think 2-2 splits just gonna be a little bit better. Aegislash isn't going to do anything. That's a win condition. So we have win in hand with Energy Switch. I think as long as they don't Marnie Reset Stamp us, which I think is not going to happen, it looks like we're just going to be taking the dub. Probably just going to go Steaming Stomp. Maybe they're going to go Reshizard. Doesn't matter. We just have Boss. So as long as they don't... So now they can't play Marnie. We just win the game pretty quickly otherwise now. It's a good attack on their behalf. So yeah, we have Boss, and that's sometimes where the deck goes. We would have been able to maybe get the knockout if they did not have Boss. So if they had to knock out the active, we had them checkmated. But this is where we get multi-checkmates. So we're just going to do here, give them the well played. And then we're going to go for Ultimate Ray for our last 3 prize cards. Really showing that this deck can come back from a rough start. So we'll take the dub there. And there we have it, peeps. That's what we got going on for this video today. I hope that everyone's enjoyed it so far and really showing the power of what ADP can do. I mean, sure, as increased competition comes from new archetypes such as Rapid Strike, Urshifu, and other things, the deck might have some highs and lows, but you want to know what? This list is absolutely fire, and we'll have to see exactly how it looks in a couple weeks. Again, I'm going to continuously update this deck, maybe about once every week, once every 2 weeks on the channel, just to keep everyone going with some of the top meta content going on. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And if you haven't already, again, hit that subscribe if you have it by the end of this video. And if not, well, hopefully we'll see you next time. Have yourself a great one. Peace out. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's become a channel member so far. Some peeps love watching my videos, and I totally appreciate that, but some peeps have gone more than out of their way beyond just watching my videos and have supported me financially. So shout out to everyone who's been featured on this channel, who's going through this list of names. We actually have so many channel members that I can't fit them in a single slide, so I figured this might be the best way to get everyone appreciated and kind of showcase all of the top supporters of the Zacian PTCG YouTube channel. Seriously, it means I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's honestly, I'm almost at a loss for words, but I'm so happy that you are all appreciating and loving the content and that it's hitting home. And I mean, I'm up all in my feels, so I hope that you understand. And thank you so much, everyone. If you want to become a channel member, totally consider it. I'll make it worth your while. And I totally mean that. I'll do everything I possibly can for my channel members to make it sure that it's worth their while. So thank you so much, everyone. And it's just amazing. Thank you. For everyone who's wondering on how to become a channel member, I first and foremost appreciate your consideration. You can click on any one of my videos on desktop, and then you could click join. Join will give you all the opportunities about what we have going on. You could support my content, you could choose the deck list hookup where you get access to my deck list, and we have a group coaching package as well. There's a lot of other things like custom emotes, early access to videos that I try to offer. So you would just click join and you'd be good and you'd be featured at the end of these videos. Thanks so much, everyone. So much for watching and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, it'd mean the world to me if you could subscribe to help support me as a content creator. Thanks again and have yourself a great one.